Drag Race España Season 3 had some incredible looks, and we're gonna talk about those today. Hi, hello everyone, my name is Jer, and who said 3's a crowd? I would like to do a deep dive into the season a little later on this week, so keep an eye out for that. We're gonna see if I can get that done. Today we're gonna be talking about my top 10 favorite looks from this season. I haven't done a video like this in a hot minute, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be sharing my favorite looks from number 10 to number 1. Let's get into it. Like I've always said, these are my personal opinions. Leave your top 10 in the comments below. In the number 10 spot is Show Your Feathers from Petita. I love the color story of these white dyed feathers with the cobalt blue. That short little ginger hair looks great on her. It frames her face well. I like that the idea for feather was quite literally a feather pen. That's some really big brain thinking, while also kind of staying inside of the box, because nobody else thought to do something a little more artistic and conceptual for this. And for something like feather, where we've seen this plenty of times on Drag Race, there's the expected showgirl feather looks that so many others have done before. This is an interesting twist on that, and actually shows her fashion point of view, I think, in an interesting way. I'm not crazy big on the Nude Illusion puss out pants, but that's neither here nor there, because I think the look in general is impactful and it's memorable, and that's something that I want to see from a runway. I want to be able to remember it after it's done, and I will definitely think about the scale and shape of this garment. In number 9 is Petita again for the Sweeper Ella's Makeover Challenge. I mostly wanted to put her in this spot so it didn't seem like the Petita show. She dominates a lot of my top 10 because she just had some of the best looks in my opinion. They had to make these looks there at Drag Race, which is quite impressive that she was able to make all of these pieces not only for herself. She's got puff sleeves, fitted bodice, she's got a flared skirt with a tulle skirt underneath. There's all these little pink accents that are on hers. She's created a structured, sleek gown for her partner that has this little peekaboo cutout. There's lining in there. There's a lot of work that has been put into this garment, and I think that is worth bringing up and addressing, because Petita is a fashion queen. She's presented high fashion all season up until now. Even in her one design challenge, it was the best one that was there for a reason. So for her to be able to really put her hands where her mouth is and say, I'm a fashion girl, I know how to make clothes, and then bang out 2 really excellent costumes for a partner runway, I think is impressive that she's able to maintain her brand image. A lot of people say that they're fashion queens, and then they get to the makeover or some type of sewing challenge and all the taste level goes out the window. I will say something about the makeup on her partner looks like if Lariche from Drag Race Italia got somehow morphed with someone like, do I say it? Antonina Nutshell. I'm not evaluating the makeup too heavily here because that's not the purpose of this. It's about the look. I think Petita looks great. I think her partner looks great from the neck down. And I really just love the whimsy of that peekaboo cutout with the lining in there. That's such a fun pattern that I think would be so difficult to incorporate into any other kind of dress, but really works here because of the flatness of this beige. And that's an ugly print to work from, and she did a great job. In the number 8 spot, we're gonna get some variety, I promise, is Petita for Eurovision. I'm obsessed with the meticulous color blocking of each one of these panels, how it goes into that kind of Nude Dior silhouette and then flares out. That is a magic right there, to be able to color block a dress in this way and still have the fit and flare. I love the whimsy of this heart on there. It's not taking itself too seriously, because when I think about Eurovision, it's all very camp, it's all very boisterous. This looks like something you could perform in, you could walk down the red carpet in, and people would ask, where did you get that? Even the smart stylistic thinking of choosing these bangles that match in color to the dress. The orange is a little off, but it's close enough. The hair frames her face well. That's something that Petita always has on lock. That hair game is right, and it's a fun and whimsical look for Eurovision. In the number 7 spot is Vania Vanilla for the Illusion runway. The construction of this garment is what draws me to it the most. I very much enjoy a mermaid skirt gown. I always love a puff sleeve moment, and I love the graffiti on this dress. It is meant to be commentary of things that queer people hear when they're on the streets. So there are homophobic slurs on here. There are things that have brought harm to Vania in the past that she is reclaiming and holding on to and saying, no, this is mine. I'm not going to let you hurt me with these words. And I think there's something impactful about that. just on a story level. Construction wise, it is well made. And then when the lights went out and it had the glow in the dark effect, I think that was impactful. In the number 6 spot is Visa for My Worst Me. This was meant to be a conversation about a childhood traumatic accident that happened to her family, a situation where she saw her father burned. I want to talk about what was underneath the reveal specifically because I think that's where the heart of this story exists. That first look is very good. It's solid. I like the color purple on her. There's something doll-like, so it kind of brings that whimsy of being a child, not really understanding the world and everything around you is sort of toy-like. And so when you dig back into your memories, everything seems a little graphic and punched up in a fantastical way. But then underneath is this charred, frayed garment with this face that has been destroyed by the fire. And I think the impact of that story reaches through the screen, and I could feel the pain that's associated with that memory. In the number 5 spot is Petita's Regions look, very similar to the reason why her makeover look was here as well, because she made this there, and this looks like it was something that was brought from home that had a lot of time put into it so that it was perfect for the show. There's this beautiful ruffling that is on the shoulders. There are, I think she said something like 50 pieces that were sewn together for this immaculate headpiece that was made. There's a pocket on the interior of the skirt because it mirrors what was actually on the original source of inspiration, which were traditional Spanish garments and costumes. The construction of this is crazy that she made this in a day and a half, in the same amount of time that it took for Kelly Roller to make that 2000s bullshit. It's impressive as hell that someone like Petita is able to bang out a costume this fiercely, and it looks like it came from outside the competition. This does not look like something that was made there. You would never make me believe that this was handmade in the workroom with materials provided by a contestant on Drag Race. This is bananas. She did such a great job. In the number 4 spot is Paquita's 3-in-1 runway look. If you listen to the pod, you know that I gagged over this look the first time that I saw it, and I am gagging once again. As someone who knows how to create costumes, I know how difficult it is to make a reveal work. And the mechanisms of this dress to be able to convert from a baby doll silhouette to ultimately a bathing suit is quite literally mind-boggling to me. In the first look, we see this beautiful ruffled baby doll moment, big structure and volume with all the tulle in this gorgeous banana yellow, and then it has this strap that holds up that bottom ruffle of the skirt so that as that descends, it doesn't go too fast, it doesn't tear that lace, which was probably pretty delicate, and helps it guide down so that it creates the mermaid effect. And then from there, it opens in the front with no visible Velcro or seam work that pulls apart so that it becomes this cape train and trails off of the bodysuit. The one thing I'm not wild about is that yellow piping that's at the panty line of the bathing suit, but that I'm gonna forgive and I'm gonna pretend it doesn't exist because this is such an immaculately created garment, and I still don't quite understand the construction of it. Like, I get it, and I understand the way that it's all sitting. I can see each one of the pieces and how they fall and where they're at, but I don't understand how she was able to make this. Period. This is perfect. I will think about this forever. In the number 3 spot is Bestia's Spain is Different look. She is meant to be talking about jamon in particular. I love this meat dress. We've seen quite a few meat dresses in the fashion universe, but not too many that make their way to the Drag Race main stage. I think too many folks are afraid to do a meat dress to be compared to Lady Gaga and maybe be told that it wasn't as spectacular as what that was. I think this is quite impressive because she's got those shoes, I forget what those are called, that look like a hoof. The bald head works well with this. The makeup is graphic. I think the unfortunate thing is that this is one of the best looks in her package and it's seen so early. Yes, it leaves a mark, but It is at the very beginning of the season where I would have loved to have seen this costume, maybe in the middle or end of her run, because then it would have been such a knockout wow moment. In the number 2 spot is Clever Biche for an illusion. I am obsessed with this runway, and I don't understand how she did not win with Petita, specifically because this runway was so good. And I think this is one of the best looks in her entire package. It is such a slay. I love the camp and whimsy of it all, while also being kind of couture. I love the colors. That pink is perfect on her. I think it's a great color for her. I like the hair, that it's a slightly different shade of pink. I love the construction of the dress to make the illusion that there's that layers of fire where she's walking and then she's got the illusion of a body hanging off of that. The construction of this is very well done, and I love that it looks like she's just jetpacking in the middle of space and flying around doing some type of mission. I enjoy this look immensely, and I really feel like she was shafted in this challenge in particular, as well as one or two others, but this was a great moment for her on the runway. And then in my number 1 spot is Visa's Show Your Feathers runway. What a spectacular runway this was for Visa. I love the ombre colors that are mirrored on both sides of the garment. It is a Dia de Muertos look, which I love that she brought more of her culture and more of her heritage to the España runway, where other queens and other franchises, Lolita Banana, were berated for being too Mexican and not being French enough. So I was very excited that the judges celebrated Visa for her culture, for bringing that and celebrating that on the runway. I love seeing powerful, beautiful Latinas in other spaces sharing our culture. And the scale of this is so luscious. I love how bold it is. It is not afraid to make a statement. It looks like it came straight out of a movie. It was a great showing for Visa. And that has been my top 10 favorite looks of Drag Race España Season 3. Let me know what your favorites were in the comments below. Make sure to check out my Drag Race podcast if you haven't already. I will see y'all on the flip.